Good afternoon. First, I welcome you all. As I'm Dr. Rasika, I am presenting here catalytic abatement of soot over Mn-based oxide catalyst. As we know, particulate matters are one of the important air pollutants nowadays we have considered. It's mainly formed due to the incomplete combustion or pyrolysis of the hydrocarbons, and there are different sources from which particulate matters are generated. But in developed countries now, the vehicular emission is considered as one of the important source for the generation of particulate matters, and these particulate matters are mainly composed of the small aggregates of carbon, which mainly composed of small aggregates of carbon particles surrounded by soluble or organic fraction metal oxides and sulfates. And these leads to there is a particulate matter, as they are strong absorber of solar radiation, lead to the global warming, as well as it has very small particulate size. So inhalation lead to the it affects the human being also due to its small particle size. Inhalation led to the inflammation, active myocardial infection and carcinogenicity to human beings. So therefore the Environmental Protection Agency's amnesty made a rule that the particulate matter emission should be less than the 0.01 grams of particulate emission per hour. So there are some devices used to reduce the particulate matter emission in diesel engine, which is the diesel oxidation catalyst or diesel particulate filters. Actually, these particulate filter is mainly composed of the washcoat, substrate and support material, but it has some, that is, particulate matters are getting blocked in the washcoat substrate. That's why regeneration is considered as the one of the important aspect in the diesel particulate filters. Actually, there are some devices, those were nowadays used to regenerate the particulate filters, but they have their own drawbacks. So there is still scope to design the new catalyst system to oxidize the soot that has been got trapped in the particulate filters. And conventionally, PT alumina catalyst is now used in the particulate filter, but it's cost about 1/3 to the total price of the particulate filter. Hence, there is scope to design new catalyst system that can easily catalyze the soot oxidation. And this I have shown the general mechanism how the soot oxidation is taking place on the catalyst surface. Generally, MS area-based catalysts are considered as efficient oxidation catalyst. So I have took the example of that as Mn. There are soot oxidation is taking place in presence of oxygen as well as nitrogen oxide, as it is generated in the diesel engine. So in presence of oxygen, Mn rich species provide the surface for the absorption of oxygen species, and that transfer to the cerium side, and there is easy oxidation taking place and transfer of Mn4 places to Mn2 side. And whereas in case of nitrogen oxide, initially the nitrogen oxide get absorbed on the Mn4 places, surface absorbed MnO species, and then it is transferred to the cerium, and there is formation of mono and bidentate titrate species, and these getting decomposes at low temperature, and there is generation of excess nitrogen dioxide species. So compared to oxygen, nitrogen oxide is considered as a highly efficient oxidizing agent. And in soot oxidation, as it is a solid-solid reaction, so the not only catalytic intrinsic activity, but the contact between soot and catalyst also playing important role. Hence, there is different types of contacts have been used, loose, tight or super tight. It is obvious that loose contact has a less contact size compared to tight. Hence, it is obvious that soot oxidation rate will be high in case of tight contact mode. So, although it is true, but in practical feasibility, loose contact is more preferred. And if you want to know the intrinsic catalytic activity, tight contact is, we need to study the tight contact also. I have shown just general mechanism. In soot oxidation reaction, an active formation of carbon and oxygen intermediate space is important, and that was considered as a rate determining step. So the catalyst is how it is playing role. It enhances the rate of active oxygen adsorption, and that active oxygen adsorption and enhance the contact between carbon and oxygen, and it leads to enhancement of rate of reaction, and also it helps in transfer of oxygen basis from catalyst to the carbon surface. So what is the objective? To design a TiO2 supported simple catalyst system for the soot oxidation is physicochemical characterization and some control experiments in order to understand the mechanism and which are active for the soot oxidation. Why I choose MnO? Because it is most abundant element making sustainable catalysis because it is cheap and easily available. It has different oxidation states, Mn2O 3+, Mn2+, 3+, and 4+ oxidation state, and it has a surface and it can provide surface adsorbed electrophilic oxygen, which is necessary for oxidation reaction, and also the Mn3O4 plays act as a Lewis acid site, which is providing the oxygen deficient more oxide cations, metal cations to absorb the oxygen, and it helps to absorption of oxygen and also the diffusion of oxygen and carrying the oxygen to the soot. So, and TiO2 as a support I have used because it has high thermal stability and high chemical and thermal stability. It has a strong meta support interaction lead to the formation of new active site for the reaction. Further, especially for the oxidation reaction, it induces the formation and stabilization of deep oxide near the interface of support material and the TiO2, and promotional role in mobility of active oxygen species, because mobility is very important in the oxidation reaction. And based on this, there are several literature, too many literatures are there based on Mn based catalyst, but those are more mainly in combination with cerium because cerium has high oxygen storage capacity. But this combination have drawback that although it is highly efficient, thermal stability is the main issue with Mn cerium combination because it is easily get sintered at high temperature, so it cannot be applicable to practical. So there may be several researchers have added alkali metals to it, but still alkali metal are sensitive to the sulfur poisoning, and barium found to be the resistant, but its decomposition or regeneration is quite difficult. And the other alkali metals, mainly potassium, is used. There is great loss in the weight loss during the regeneration. So only yttrium oxide is found to be an efficient catalyst system because it is acting as a diffusion barrier and enhance thermal stability. So in this, here I have started with only MnTiO2 in order to understand because TiO2 has high thermal stability and Mn acting as oxidation catalyst. So I have started with simple catalysis system, that is MnTiO2 catalyst, and we have prepared the catalyst by simple integration method and by using manganese acetic tetrahydrate as a precursor dissolved in water and studied for 12 hours, calcium activated and used for the reaction. Actually, we have prepared different types of catalysts in order to compare their activity with the Mn, and activity testing of these catalysts were for the soot oxidation were carried out by simple TGDT analysis in both loose and tight contact mode. And these are the results. Actually, initially we have checked the catalyst with bare TiO2 and by changing the Mn composition as in both loose contact mode and tight contact mode, as you can observe that as the Mn loading is increasing up to 20%, 5, 10 and 20 we have changed the Mn concentration. As you can see in loose contact mode, the soot oxidation is taking place 10% Mn loading showing the higher activity compared to the 20%, whereas in contrast that in TC mode both 20 and 10% loaded Mn is almost showing the similar activity. Then why there is such a difference in, although there is higher Mn loading on the catalyst surface, and as you can compare the activation energy also we have calculated for both the system 10 and 20%, and 10% is showing the much lower activation energy, that means it is highly active for the soot oxidation compared to 20% Mn, and this activity is very much comparable with that the literature reported catalyst system, which is those are quite complex like peroxide based material which is 1.8 kilojoule per mole of activation energy. In our catalyst also showing almost similar activation energy. That means this is the active highly efficient catalyst for the soot oxidation reaction. So in order to understand why there is such a difference in by changing only loading, why there is such difference in activity. So we have, in order to understand the Mn active species, we have reduced the catalyst. So the Mn oxide species, MnO2, Mn3O4 getting reduced to MnO phase, and as we can see, both LC and TC mode, reduced catalyst system is showing inferior activity compared to that of calcine mode. Reduced means we have used the hydrogen for the reduction. An XRD analysis of different percentage of Mn and reduced catalyst we compare. It shows that as the Mn loading is increasing to 20%, the Mn3O4 phases and Mn2O3 phases, the crystallinity quite increasing, and in reduced sample, the most of the Mn3O4 and Mn2O3 is getting reduced to MnO4 phase. And what would be the other reason? Because oxidation state of Mn is playing important role in the oxidation reaction. As I already mentioned, we have deconvoluted the spectra of 10%, 20% calcium and reduced sample, and we observe that catalyst 10% MnKr2 contains a higher percentage of Mn3 plus species compared to that of calcium and reduced, 20% calcium and reduced. That may be the acting as active species for the pseudo oxidation. And also the surface adsorbed oxygen space, chemisorb oxygen species is playing important role in oxidation reaction. But as you can see in 10% Mn, although electrophilic oxygen species are ratio is less compared to that of 20%, still it is showing activity. That means there is also presence of hydroxyl peak that is higher at higher binding energy, that is also acting as a good oxidizing agent, that indicating that surface adsorbed oxygen phases as well as hydroxyl phases present in the 10% Mn playing a role in oxidation reaction. Actually, lattice oxygen is also participating in the oxidation reaction. In some of the report it was stated that Mn is enhancing the mobility of lattice oxygen, and that leads to the generation of new active oxygen species. So we cannot state that here the only surface adsorbed oxygen species are active from this data. That means Mn species, optimal combination of Mn species and surface adsorbed oxygen species are important for the pseudo oxidation reaction. And extent of reduction also we have checked for the same catalyst system, and as we know, in case of Mn manganese oxide catalyst, the support reducibility of oxidized support is also important for the activity of the catalyst, and where DIO2 doesn't show the any reduction peak, that means it is quite stable. But as we loaded the Mn, there is small and lower at the lower temperature reduction peak observed at lower temperature. That means there is a reduction of Ti4 plus to Ti3 plus due to interaction between Mn and TiO2. And there is three reduction peaks were observed, and main peak is at 412 degrees Celsius, which indicating that there is surface mainly enriched with Mn2O3 species of the catalyst. Whereas as the concentration of Mn is increasing, extent of peak intensity as well as peak is shifting slightly towards a higher temperature. This mainly indicated that increasing particle size of Mn, which are actually increased particles are resistant to reduction. That's why it is shifting to higher temperature. Whereas for oxidation, easily reducible oxide species are required. And increasing particle size was also clearly observed from the TEM analysis, where in 10% Mn you will observe the small well dispersed particles, whereas extent of aggregation is increased in 20% Mn, and as you can structure of the particles, it is showing cubic in 10% Mn, whereas in 20% Mn these hexagonal phases are observed. And cubic phases are generally it has normal edges that creates a defect side and enhance the mobility of oxygen. As the surface area is now too much important in the oxidation reaction, but for the dispersion of metal, it is playing some role. And you can see, although the surface area is less, but in 10% Mn there is slight increase in the surface area we observe. This may be because of changing morphology, and that may provide some dispersion of Mn species on the surface, and because of that it is showing the activity at low contact mode also and TC. That means we have concluded that loading of Mn is important for the pseudo oxidation reaction, and 10% loading found to be optimal due to there is optimal combination of lattice oxygen species and Mn3O4 species, and morphology of the catalyst also playing important role. Thank you. Any questions?
있으신가요? 예.
Thank you for your interesting presentation. I'm Jae-hwan Yang at Chungnam National University, and I want to ask you a question about what do you think the dominant factor of highest catalytic activities? Because according to your XPS research, it seems that the 10 weight percent MnO2 does not have the highest portion of it, the surface absorbed oxygen, and there are several factors that affect the catalytic activities as you indicated. And what do you think is the dominant factor?
Here the dominant factor is presence of Mn2O thrice and Mn3O4 phases. Actually, hausenite is the phase that it has contains +2 as well as +3 phase. That is more important, and morphology of the catalyst, because you can see in 10% Mn there is clear cubic structure we have. Although same conditions are there, whereas we increase the loading, there is hexagonal phases hexagonal structure is observed. That means something morphological changes taking place, and that leads to the change in activity. Obviously, particle size is also important. These three factors are important because Mn3O4 phase acting as a Lewis acid phase, and that is required for the oxidation reaction. I think Lewis acidity and presence of combination of Mn2O3 and Mn3O4 phase. These two factors are playing important role because oxygen is anyway is there, lattice as well as chemisant oxygen. As we are using manganese oxide and titanium oxide is there. Initially we started with oxide species only. So oxide species has to be there, but change in morphology and oxidation of Mn is predominantly playing role in oxidation or change in oxidation of activity of that particular catalyst.
Okay, then according to your answer, you think that the reducibility is more important factor than just the surface absorbed oxygen?
Actually, reducibility is correlated with the mobility of adsorbed oxygen species. Easily reducible catalyst means it has more defect set.
Okay, I'm just so confused because I think because of the two factors, surface absorbed oxygen and the reducibility you showed by the H2 TPR is actually very closely related generally. But in your research it shows some inconsistencies. So I wonder.
As you can see, 10% peak intensity is also low, and it is quite broad peak and slight shifting in the reduction. This is itself indicating that these three factors are related to each other. That is, morphology of smaller particles are easily reducible, and that we have observed in 10% loading. And another is the Mn2O thrice species and Mn3O4 species. Those are well discussed, and because of that, and it has defect side, more defect side, as per the literature report, because it has corner and edges. Spinel structure has more corner and edges, so there is a possibility of vacancies, oxygen vacancies, and that leads to the reducibility of that catalyst. That we have only indicating through the PPR analysis. That is, it is easily reducible catalyst. Those are correlating with our previous data also. This XRD, TM, and XPS data.
Thank you for your good explanation. Thank you.
Pleasure.
혹시 또 다른 질문 있으신가요? 정확히 3시가 됐네요. Dr. Pascal, thank you for your nice presentation. Now we stop. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.